Good morning, children. Welcome back. Today we are going to discuss some important theorems and results. So the first theorem says that if A and B are non-singular matrices of the same order, then AB and BA are also non-singular matrices of the same order. Okay. So you know what do you mean by non-singular matrix? Non-singular matrix, in the last class we have seen that it means that determinant of A is not 0. So here they are saying that if AB are non-singular matrices of the same order. Why did they use the word same order? Only then multiplication AB and BA are possible. And it is very true, children. If A's determinant is non-zero and B's determinant is non-zero, if you take the product of AB or BA, they are also going to be non-singular matrices. That means determinant of AB and determinant of BA are also not going to be 0. The second one is a formula. The determinant of the product of matrices is equal to the product of the respective determinants. That is, determinant of AB is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B, where A, B are matrices of the same order. So what is it saying? That you are going to find the determinant of product of the matrices is same as the product of the determinant of individual matrix. That is, the formula says that, or the theorem says that determinant of AB is same as determinant of A into determinant of B. Now the next theorem says that if A is an invertible matrix of order n, then determinant of adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A raised to n minus 1. Now in the last class we have studied that, in the last 2-3 lectures back we have studied what do you mean by invertible matrix, right? Invertible matrix means there is a matrix B for this matrix A such that A into B is same as B into A is same as identity matrix. Yes, then A is said to be invertible. Now they are saying one formula. What is the formula saying for the theorem? Determinant of adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A to the power n minus 1. Now what do you mean by adjoint of A? Adjoint of A is nothing but obtained by taking the transpose of the cofactors of matrix A. Yes or no? Let's do this. Okay. In the last class, I have proved a theorem in which the property was like this. You can refer my previous lecture. Adjoint of A into A is equal to determinant of A into I. This was the last theorem I stopped in the last class. Alright, now let us simplify this. So this means adjoint of A into A. Now what do you mean by determinant of A? Let us do it for a small matrix because n cross n it will be very difficult. So determinant of A times I. Now children, you know that I is identity. That means 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Now with that I am multiplying determinant of A. So I will get this matrix. I have skipped one step. Okay. Yes. Now you know that by property of determinant of A can be taken common from each column, each row or each column, whatever way. So it will be determinant of A cube. It will be 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Yes, now apply determinant on both the sides. So this is adjoint of A. Okay. Then I have here determinant of A. This side no change because it's already in determinant form. 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 0 1. Yeah. Now one determinant and one will get cancelled, so this will be square. So I will get adjoint of A. Determinant of adjoint of A is determinant of A square times this is I. Yes. That is nothing but determinant of A square. Yeah. So what does this mean? When I get a 3 cross 3 matrix, its determinant is same as determinant of 2. That means 3 minus 1. So in general I can say adjoint. If A is a matrix of order n, then adjoint of A it will be same as determinant of A raised to n minus 1. Okay. Now next one. So remember this formula we will be requiring in problems. Next one is a square matrix A is invertible if and only if A is non-singular matrix. Okay, so it's an if and only if means you have to prove the front part and the back part. Okay, forward implication and backward implication. So what is the first part, children? What is the forward part? It is given that A is invertible. Now we have to prove that it is non-singular. Now just now we have studied that if A is invertible, there exists a matrix B. Just now I have revised the definition such that AB is equal to BA is equal to I. Yes, so this means if I apply determinant of AB will be same as determinant of BA will be same as determinant of I. Okay, but now already we have studied that determinant of A, B is nothing but determinant of A, determinant of B is equal to determinant of I. Now you know that determinant of identity matrix is not 0. Yes, determinant of identity matrix is not 0. Yes, it is actually 1. So what do you mean by that? If this right side has to be 1, that means these two cannot be 0. Also, one of them also cannot be 0. If one of them is 0, then determinant of I will become 0, which is not true. So this means that determinant of A is not equal to 0 and determinant of B is also not equal to 0. Yes, therefore you can say that A is a non-singular matrix. Okay, now backward implication. It is given that determinant of A is not 0. Now just now we have revised a concept which said that A into adjoint of A is same as adjoint of A. This was the last theorem, okay, last class theorem, determinant of A into I. Now determinant of A is not 0, so throughout this equation I am going to divide by determinant of A. So it will be like this: adjoint of A is equal to 1 upon determinant of A, adjoint of A into A is equal to I. Determinant of A will get cancelled here, right? Now just carefully look this. Children, if you carefully look at this, you can see that this is of the type B is equal to, if I name it as B, it will look like AB is equal to BA is equal to I. If I take this as B. Yes, so that means A is invertible because I know that determinant of A is not 0. And for every matrix I can find adjoint of A. So B is existing. So I can say that A is invertible. Because of this I got a formula, children. It says that B, which is nothing but my A inverse. If you want to find inverse, there is one new formula which says that A inverse is equal to 1 upon determinant of A into adjoint of A. So last time and all we used to do elementary row transformations to get inverse of a matrix. So this time if in the exam they have not asked you to find elementary row transformation method for using A inverse, you can use this formula. And I think this is better than the elementary row transformation. But you have to learn both the methods. We don't know how the question is going to come in the exam. Let's go for one more last theorem. Okay, this already we have studied. It says that if A and B are two invertible matrices of the same order, then AB inverse is B inverse A inverse. This already we have seen, right? We have proved this in one of the classes. So the same thing I have revised here. If AB are two invertible matrices of the same order, then AB inverse is equal to B inverse A inverse. Okay, thank you, children.